You guys are probably wondering who I am, how I got to where I am today. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I got into the industry that I am currently in, and how easy it is for you guys as well to do the same thing. See you soon. What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to actually go over how I actually got involved in the industry that I'm in today, and how you guys can pretty much do the exact same thing. It was about 3 years ago. I remember I had just turned 18 at the time, and I was at a point in my life where I didn't like who I was, what I was doing, who I had in my life, and I pretty much wanted things to change. And at the time, I was getting in a lot of trouble with my dad. I was getting in trouble with the law. That year when everything really hit me, I had 3 citations. So I got 3 tickets, 2 for possession of alcohol and then 1 for shoplifting. So everything in my life was pretty much going downhill. I was pretty much scared, didn't know what to do. I realized that the people that I had in my life, the choices that I was making, was not going to really help me get any further in life to actually do something positive. And I was getting in so much trouble, like I said, and me and my dad's relationship really wasn't there anymore, so I really couldn't talk to him. I couldn't ask for him for help because he didn't want to help me. He didn't even want to talk to me at the time. So the only thing that I asked my dad was like, what can I do to make a difference in myself, make a change? And he said, well, you're 18 years old now, you need to start looking for work. This is your time to start doing something with your life, getting ready to move out, getting ready to get your first home. So of course I was scared. I have never done this before. This is something that is totally different, but I knew that it was all for the good. My dad was doing this so I could do better, so he could see me become a better me. So I ended up looking for a job for the longest time. I went to Colt's, I filled out job applications there. I went to Sprouts, Farmers Market, didn't get a job. And then the last place that I put an application into was Rouse, a grocery store. And then through that application, I actually I was persistent with the application, so I kept calling the management, the store, and I was like, hey, can I see my application status, like how is it going? So I kept bugging them. They obviously knew that I was interested in the job, that I wanted to be in that position to do that. So they pretty much hired me. They put me through the loop where they go over my application, then they do a drug test. Well, when they did the drug test, that's where they caught me. I was actually smoking weed at the time, so they knew that I was smoking weed, and they called me about 2 days later after the drug test once they got the results, and they're like, hey Cole, I'm sorry to tell you, but your results came back positive for marijuana and we can't hire you for this job. So I was like, at the time I was like, damn, I'm pretty much at a desperate point in my life. I can't find any work because my bad habits are getting in the way of what's really important. So I ended up cutting off the bad habits, obviously, and then I got so desperate, guys, to get a job that I put an ad on Craigslist. And on this ad, the title was, I need a job ASAP. All in caps locks, guys, I'm not gonna lie. And I was so desperate at the time, so I put that ad up, and then I get a couple calls from people that are on just stupid stuff, just offering dumb opportunities to me, and I obviously wasn't gonna take them. And there was this guy, I'm never gonna forget his name, Marvin Jones. He is super tall. He's like 6'5", absolutely super tall over me, and he was a light-skinned guy. He was super intelligent, super smart, and he instantly caught my attention when we first got on the phone, when he approached me. And I was obviously skeptical at first. I was looking out for myself, you could say, and I was passing over the opportunity he was giving me. And I kept saying no, 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 because I couldn't see myself in a higher position. I could only see myself for who I was today. Until I started to change my thinking a little bit, then I could maybe change a little bit. So that's what I had to do. I started changing my thinking, and I started thinking on Marvin's level, the boss mentality level. And I obviously ended up partnering up with Marvin. He was blowing me up pretty much every other day for this job opportunity, and I was passing it over pretty much every day. I was like, you know what, Marvin, like, this isn't gonna work. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, well, what do I have to lose? What really do I have to lose by going and listening to this guy's opportunity, what he has going on? So I ended up going into their corporate office. I actually went with my good buddy Colt and my dad. So all three of us, we all go down to this corporate office. We pull up. It's a very nice building, I'm not gonna lie. We walk in there. They have a great establishment. The business is amazing. They have beautiful receptionists at the front desk. Like, everything is perfect. So when I envisioned this, I was like, well, it's probably gonna be a little sketchy since this is an offer on Craigslist, but that was my thinking. I made myself believe that. It wasn't the truth. I just put those false thoughts into my head and ended up making myself believe that. So we end up going to the corporate office. We meet the CEO of the company, and the company was UA. So it was a distribution company that specialized in highly advanced technology. So the first product that I actually knew about that was presented to the first day was the U-Box. Now the U-Box is a little box like this big. It's a media streaming device, so it has an HDMI cord and a power cord. It connects to your TV, and then it connects to Wi-Fi. So it runs off Wi-Fi. So the whole point of the U-Box was to get rid of cable bills, because with the U-Box, you're running it off Wi-Fi and you're paying a one-time fee of $3.99. So I obviously got my U-Box. So the U-Box allows you to watch any movie you could think of, any TV show. You can watch movies in theaters, pay-per-view events. You can stream the internet. You can go on YouTube. So it had pretty much any and everything the internet had, plus 10 times more than that. So we all saw opportunity in this product. My dad was even sold within the first 10 minutes. He was like, you know what, this is opportunity, this is money to my ears. I heard that it was money to my ears too, and I took action on it. Obviously there's a fee to join, so I got a loan from my dad. He gave me the $400 to get the U-Box, and it was another $50 to become a distributor, so I could sell the products and make commissions off that. So I started doing that. My first couple of weeks were slow. I didn't have much experience in the field. I didn't know what I was really doing, but luckily I had the mentor Marvin. He was there to hold my hand, basically show me what works in this field, show me what doesn't work. So I ended up doing that. I ended up getting a couple of sales my first month. And let me tell you this, when I first went into this opportunity, I heard about the CEO's nephew. And he was talking so highly about his nephew. He was like, guys, my nephew just went to church with me last Sunday. He sold 500 U-Boxes to the whole community, the whole church. I was like, what? And then he mentioned at the end, he was like, he's only 18 years old. I was like, wait. So he's 18 years old. I'm 18 years old as well. We have the same opportunity in the day. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, so there's never a reason to be mad, envy somebody else because they're doing better than you are, because they're using the opportunity that you're not using. So I ended up looking at that. I was like, okay, well, we have the same ability. I'm trying to connect with this kid. So a couple weeks later, I'm still in the business. I'm doing good. I get a couple of sales. I'm building my brand up. I'm building my Instagram up. Everything's going well. And then I go into the corporate office again. And that's when I see the CEO's nephew. I walk up, I'm like, yo, what's going on? You're so-and-so, right? He's like, yeah, what's up? I was like, oh, I'm Colt. I actually just joined the business about a month ago. I'm super excited. I've heard a lot about you. I really want to like connect with you and get to know you as a person. And I mean, we ended up not really connecting at first, but we kept seeing each other. And it was like, we just built a relationship with each other. We had a lot of things in common, so we really like clicked. And we started hanging out, and at the time, my buddy that I met, that was the one that was making all the money in the company, he was making $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And I was like, wow, that's amazing to be making at 18 years old. So obviously I started hanging around him. I built the character traits that he had, and I started to make a couple thousand a month. Then I built my income to $5,000 a month. Then after that, I moved out of my dad's house. So everything changed because I started surrounding myself with people that actually wanted to build me up. The people that I had in my life before were focused on the short-term high, just partying, not doing really anything. So by me being around stronger people, I became a stronger me. So I ended up going through that company, and there was a lot of success. I got connected with a lot of people. This company, UA, actually helped me get involved in the forex market. So that's how, through UA, I heard about the forex market through a couple of my mentors. They're like, yo, this is what's gonna be big in the next couple of years. I remember looking at some of the top leaders in the company I was gonna get involved in, and I was watching their Instagram videos of them on jets, them on yachts, them on jet skis. I was like, wow, this is the life that I've always wanted. It's not really the whole money flexing aspect, but it's an aspect of being financially free, being able to do and live a lifestyle that most people cannot live. So I immediately was attracted to the lifestyle they had. I wanted to reach out to them, partner up with them. So when I actually got involved in the Forex market, I started through a company called Wealth Generators. So it was an MLM, multi-level marketing company that focused on recruiting people. So I obviously was totally focused on the whole recruiting aspect. I actually built a pretty big team of 300 people. So it was me on the top, then I had my 3 people below here. So I had one of my top leaders, another. So one of my top leaders, about a year into the company, one of my top leaders, Chris Sosa, he passes away. He gets hit by a car, run over. It was a horrible death. And I remember so clearly just getting a call from one of his students that he had brought onto the team, one of his good friends, and he was like, "Yo, Colt, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Chris was hit by a car and he was killed this morning." I was just sitting there and I started crying because I knew that not only one of my good friends, one of my business partners has passed away that I really cared about, but my business as well was going down. So I had to really think about all my other options, what was going on at the time. Like, my business went to shit. What am I gonna do to produce an income that's making me a couple $1,000s a month now? So at the time, I was about a year, 2 years involved into the Forex market. I had a pretty well understanding. I actually left Wealth Generators after my top leader died, and I actually took the Forex market very heavily, and I started educating myself. I started getting to a point where I was making enough money trading in the Forex market than I was any of my teachers were making. So I was like, wow, this is actually very powerful. I can produce an income that's gonna make me be able to pay for my rent. It will feed me. It will make sure I'm able to pay for my cell phone bills. So me being involved to be able to pick up a skill that's going to overall help me produce mass amounts of money was very important to me. It opened up my eyes to a million different opportunities. That's how I started my own business. I got to a point where I was so educated in this market that I got to a point where I was like, wow, I can go and teach this to people as well, and they can become successful. And that's what I did. That's when I started my company, Reward Over Risk. Back in 2016, September 2016 is when I came up with the name, everything, and then I put it together. I remember at first I was not confident. I didn't think that a lot of people were going to join, but I really realized at that point that, you know what, I am what I think about. If I want to be successful, I have to just put successful thoughts in my mind, and that's exactly what I did. I started being a person of influence. When people came into my business, the only thing that I focused on was them. I wanted them to be at the top level they could be. And they did. When they were working with me, I motivated them. Just like I'm doing these videos, I motivated them. I pushed them to go harder. So I created 10, then I created 20, then 30, then 50, then 500 plus students who are seeing success in this market simply by using my strategy, by using my help. So the one thing that you guys can get from this video is you guys can conquer anything. When you think that you can't do it, you need to think that maybe you can do it. Because I've realized that when I'm going into anything, whether it's playing a sport, whether I'm betting against someone, whether I'm doing a YouTube video like this, if I go into that situation thinking that I'm not going to be able to do it well, then I'm not going to be able to do it well. But if I go into a situation thinking I can conquer this, let's say I'm playing a basketball game and I want to shoot this three-pointer. What if I say I'm going to drain it right now? I'm going to shoot it perfectly, I'm going to drain it. I most likely will, because I put that positive thought into my mind. You guys should all do this as well. I actually have on my bathroom mirror, I have on the mirror, and I wrote with a Sharpie, I wrote, I am what I think about most of the time. So when I get out of the shower, when I'm going to go to the bathroom, I see that on my mirror. And I notice that the law of attraction is really real. One of my buddies is actually about to get a Rolls-Royce Wraith. And he was talking about it yesterday. He was like, I went and looked at the car yesterday. I think I'm about to buy it this week. And it's crazy because that same day we saw a Rolls-Royce Wraith driving behind us. And then about 30 minutes later we saw a Rolls-Royce Wraith to the right of us driving right by us. I was like, damn, that's crazy. The law of attraction is so real, because you brought that image into your head about you buying a Wraith, and now we see 2 Wraiths in the last 30 minutes. So it's very true, guys. If you want to be successful, you have to be around successful people. If you want to be broke, then continue to be around broke people. That's just how life works. It's the law of attraction. So guys, thanks for coming on this video. If you guys could like this video, comment something if you can relate to this video in any way, and please hit that subscribe button below.